Today in our 2017 Ram 3500, we'll be installing the B&W Turnoverball Underbed Gooseneck Trailer Hitch with custom installation kit. Part number BWGNRK1314. Now when we don't want to tow our gooseneck trailer and we want to store our ball in the stored position so we have full access to our truck bed, you just pull the handle out, latch in position, raise it up, grab it, got this handle here, drop it on down, you can see it sits flush with the bed. Let's put it back in our tow mode now. Pull it out, flip it over, drop it in. I'll secure our latch real quick, move it to the right, push it on in. Okay, with the ball latch secured, you can see the ball is not going anywhere. So we hook our trailer up, we couple onto the ball, hook our safety chains up to our loops. As you can see, they raise easily and they're spring loaded to retract. They retract easily, so when we don't have our trailer hooked up and we want to load some cargo in our bed, they won't get snagged on any of our cargo. This hitch features a 7,500 pound vertical load limit and a 30,000 pound gross towing weight. You'll want to consult the owner's manual of your Ram 3500 and not exceed the limits of the vehicle or the hitch itself. Alright, here's what our gooseneck hitch comes with. We have our gooseneck head itself right here. We have our gooseneck ball, 2 5/16 inch diameter ball. We have all of our installation hardware right here for our safety chain loops as well. Our ball release handle here. Our hardware to install it. A collar here that'll keep our bed from crushing around the gooseneck ball once it's installed. And a template here to drill our pilot hole in the bed so we know where to drill out our large hole for our ball to stick through. Alright, we've gone ahead and already removed our spare tire to make our life a little bit easier. You don't have to remove it to do the install, but with it out of the way, it gives you a better area to stand underneath if you're doing this on a lift. If you're doing it on the ground, it would still probably be a good idea to take it out. Now our heat shield for around where our spare tire is. It's held in place with 2 10mm bolts here and another 2 up here. We're going to remove this to get a little bit more room to work. Alright, now we need to lower our exhaust here via this exhaust hanger. Spray it down with some lubricant so it slides off a little bit easier. And then we use a pry bar to pry it off. Okay, the hardware that's going to hold our gooseneck head in place is located right above our tailpipe here. Now, our tailpipe is clamped to the rest of the exhaust right here. You can slide this section off once we loosen this clamp and have plenty of room to work. So we're going to do that. We'll use a 15mm socket to loosen our clamp. Okay, with our clamp loose, we can wiggle our tailpipe section off. And we'll set that aside. All right, with our tailpipe out of the way, you can see how much more room we have, and you can see our holes that our gooseneck head will secure through. Now we need to mark our pilot hole location before our ball goes through using our template. Push it up, flush against the bed, just to make a mark. Okay, so we'll just line up where we made our mark with the punch. Okay, got a nice little divot there right now. We'll drill it out. Okay, we're up here in our truck bed now. You can see where our pilot hole came through. So we'll use that as a guide and use our 3.5 inch hole saw to make the hole for our gooseneck ball to come through. Okay, we're all the way through now. Well, back underneath, we have our plastic ring spacer right here. We insert it over on this side we can start to slide it over and we'll work it into position. May need to tap it with a hammer and a screwdriver. All right, with our spacer block in place now, we can install our handles. Now our handles are side specific. So our passenger side one, when these are facing towards us, it looks like a 7. We'll sit on top of our cross member here, and this will give us the bolt holes for our bolts to thread into to hold our gooseneck head up. So we'll slide this in above our cross member, below our bed. We'll just slide this in, get them centered above those holes. Now we'll take our driver's side one, the one that's left over. All right, get all of our holes centered up as best as possible. All right, good. Okay, now we can take our gooseneck head here. We'll raise it into position. We'll run our bolts to the bottom here, 3 on each side. We'll have an assistant run the bolts in for us while we hold it in place. I got it. Okay, now we have a couple started. We'll get the other one started too. We went up to our bed and verified that our gooseneck head is centered in the hole. With that done, we'll tighten our bolts down now. Okay, now that all of those are tightened down, we'll torque them to the specifications found in the instructions. Okay, now we can install our handle for our ball latch release mechanism. These 2 holes right here will line up right here. So we'll slide this We'll take our carriage bolts here and pull the handle out a little bit to drop them in place and secure it to our mechanism with the included flange lock nuts. Now we use a 15mm socket and we'll tighten these down. Okay, with our nuts tight, we'll torque them to the amount specified in the instructions. Okay, with our handle on and in place now, we can drill out the holes through our truck's cross member and bed for our safety chain loops. We'll have 2 holes on each side. We'll make a small hole in the middle, use as a pilot hole on each of our holes. Okay, once you feel it go through the cross member, continue up and through the bed. Repeat the same process for the other 3 holes. All right, now that we have all of our pilot holes drilled, we can drill through the cross member to the final size. Okay, now that we're through the cross member, we'll go through the bed too. Okay, we'll do the same for the other 3. Okay, so we'll just clean these up a little bit with our 1/2-inch step bit. Okay, now we'll take our safety chain U-bolts. Drop them down through the holes. Make sure they slide up and down easily. Them sliding up and down easily, we can go underneath and install our hardware to secure them. Take one of our springs here, Make sure the small end faces down. Push it up over the U-bolt. So we'll thread on one of our nuts to the U-bolt with the spring in place. You might have to hold the spring up with one hand while you put the nut on just to make it easier. Do the same on the other side of the bolt. And repeat the same process for the other U-bolt. Now we can tighten down our nuts on our U-bolts until they are flush with the end of the bolt. Okay. All right, good. We're now back on the driver's side of the vehicle. Here's where our handle is, right here. We need to clear off a spot in the frame to apply the sticker to explain the operation of it. So we'll use some soap and water here, just so we can get all the dirt off the frame so our sticker sticks on nice and easily. We'll take our sticker, just apply it here. Now this sticker, while it's in place, will explain to our customer how to operate the latch in order to store the ball in either the towed position or the storage position. All right, now that all the hardware is installed for our Gooseneck Hitch, we can reinstall the parts that we removed, starting with the tailpipe section of our exhaust. I'll just slide it and twist it on. Once we have it mostly on, you can see where the line is of dirt and exhaust soot. That's how far down we need to go. We may need to tap it down a little bit with a hammer. All right, that should do it right there. Okay, with our exhaust back in the proper position, we'll retighten our clamp back down using the 15mm socket again. Okay, with that tight, we can install the hanger now. Okay, we'll just slide our rubber hanger onto the studs here. Okay. Now we'll reinstall our spare tire heat shield. Get these loosely started. And come in on the back side and install the other two. Now if you removed your spare tire, you can reinstall it at this point in time. Okay, now that we're ready to install our ball, we'll pull our handle out and move it left. We can insert the ball in the bed now. This is as simple as inserting it. Now, if we want to lock our ball into place, we'll just grab the handle, move it to the right, push it on in. And that completes our installation of the B&W Turnoverball Underbed Gooseneck Trailer Hitch with custom installation kit, part number BWGNRK1314 on our 2017 Ram 3500.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at eTrailer.com.